I'll let you know before we get started too, there's not a ton I can say about the investigation right now because it's so short, close in time, but I can answer some questions and kind of go through the scenario again if you'd like me to.
You ready? All right, we're ready. You have 2 people in custody, a male and a female, correct?
That's correct.
Are you releasing names at this time?
No.
Can you talk a little about the motive behind this shooting?
We don't know yet. We spent a long time last night, combination of executing search warrants, talking to witnesses, talking to both suspects, and we're kind of putting the package together right now to give to the prosecutor's office so they can decide what charges they're actually going to file on both suspects.
Any idea where that gun came from?
I don't know yet.
What was the original traffic stop for?
We don't know. It's kind of protocol for our troopers. They will call a traffic stop out, location, the license plate, the color of the vehicle, and sometimes what it's for and sometimes not. And when Trooper Butterfield did that, it helped the investigation a ton. What he had done was perfect. Able to get the license plate number from the stop that he'd made and track down the suspects eventually and take them into custody.
Any idea about criminal history for these 2 suspects, the man and woman you have in custody?
I'm not sure the criminal history.
Can you talk a little about how this is a prime example of there are no routine traffic stops when it comes to law enforcement?
Absolutely aren't. You just can't prepare for something like this. We have probably the best training out there, and we do all the right things. And Trooper Butterfield did the right things last night. Some things you just can't prepare for.
Is the female facing charges?
Potentially, yes.
Any idea on any relationship between the man and the woman?
I'm not sure what the relationship is.
Do we know where they're from?
I don't know.
I mean, just talk about how hard this is on everybody in law enforcement at this point.
Yeah, it's not just law enforcement. Of course, it's us. This is the job that we do. This is the risks we take, unfortunately. But I think it's a loss for the entire community, not just law enforcement, and we're very saddened by it.
You said you're not releasing a lot of details. Obviously, this is a very thorough investigation. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do yet. You know, we had our investigators from the Michigan State Police as well as our local law enforcement partners working throughout the night. As I said, executing search warrants and seizing evidence and talking to witnesses and talking to the suspects. Try to put the pieces of the puzzle together for us so we can give the entire package to the prosecutor, make sure we do it right.
The white car that they ended up being found in, was that what they were stopped in?
I can't speak to any cars at this point in time.
Do you expect them to be arraigned today?
I don't know if they will be or not. I don't know. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle we're trying to put together, and like I said, we want to do it right.
Can you tell us what the situation was with the trooper being diverted away from the Grand Rapids Hospital by AirMed?
Yeah, I can't speak to that. It was some sort of medical issue. I'm not sure what and why.
Do you know what hospital it was that he ended up at?
Munson.
Trooper Butterfield, he was at the Heart Post majority of his career, or where was he?
I think he was actually at the Manistee Post the majority of his career, and he transferred to the Heart Post a couple of years ago.
Just talk a little bit about, the man he was. He was also a U.S. Army veteran.
He was an Army veteran, 14 years at the Department of Michigan State Police, a phenomenal runner from what I understand, a great guy.
We also heard that his dad was a retired state police trooper, so...
That's correct.
Runs in the family, dedication.
Yeah. It does.
I don't know if you released his age.
43 years old.
43.
What's going on up at the Heart Post today, sir?
Grieving. They're meeting as a post to kind of go through some of this. It's a loss for all of us, but it's a loss to their immediate law enforcement family. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well.
Any idea on arrangements at this point?
No arrangements have been made yet. He's from the east side of the state, and he worked in the west side of the state, so we're still trying to work out where the funeral will actually be.
Where was he from on the east side?
Frankenmuth, Bridgeport area.
What is this like? Obviously, from that side, his connections with law enforcement, his dad. What is it like for all of Michigan State Police, just the whole state?
I don't understand the
How
question.
are they reacting to this?
Yeah, we're all very sad. Yeah, we're all very sad.
So the incident, do we know how many shots were fired and how many different officers were at the scene at the moment that they were apprehended?
I'm not sure how many shots were fired or number of officers, to be honest with you. It was all very, very fluid and dynamic as information was coming in on where they may be, and they ultimately found them. It was a very short exchange of gunfire before he was taken into custody.
Which departments were involved in that apprehension in Dublin?
Michigan State Police alone.
Just State Police?
Yes.
Talk about the overall response. I mean, this was agencies from all around the surrounding area.
Incredible. The response was incredible. The work that was done by our local law enforcement partners from the Mason County Sheriff's Department, Oceana County Sheriff's Department, Lake County Sheriff's Department, Ludington Police Department, were there on scene with a few of our troopers, but they were able to hold that all down for us, and we had a lot of information from different places we had to look at and vehicles we had to look at, And because they were there, they were able to take care of that for us and really helped us tremendously.
Do you know the condition of the suspect at this point?
I don't know.
Does it appear the man and the woman had an equal part in this?
I don't know the answer to that question.
During the altercation in Dublin, the suspect did return fire on police then?
I don't know if he did or not.
Do you know if the
Suspect that was struck, was that the male or the female?
The male was struck.
just one gun involved?
I'm not sure.
Any idea on their ages or anything?
I don't know.
What do the state police do to show that they're grieving something like this?
Well, as you can see, our flags are flying at half staff today. Law enforcement officers across the state will have mourning badges draped across their badge to show respect and to honor Trooper Butterfield.
Obviously, the funeral arrangements are incomplete, but is it safe to assume that it would be a fairly significant state police event, not unlike some of the other trooper funerals we've experienced in recent years?
It'll be significant, very significant.
Can you speak about his family at all, married, children?
I don't want to speak about his family.
Is there anything else, I guess, that you can add? I mean, what's next? What's going on right now, and what's next? What can we expect?
Yeah, well, the investigation is really what we're focusing on right now. As I said, we still have a lot of work to do. As you might expect, when you execute search warrants and take evidence, that leads to the next thing and the next thing. And unlike no other homicide we deal with, we have to do it right. It's a slow process. Once you get it locked down and secured and controlled, we have the time on our side now, and we can make sure we put all those pieces of the puzzle together. And as I said, just do it right.
Are they at the Mason County Jail now, or?
I don't believe so, no.
I was just about to ask, is it going to be Mason or Manistee that handles the
Well,
case?
there's two different crime scenes, so there potentially be charges in both areas.
Can you tell us why the traffic stop was made?
We don't know. We don't know. As I said, he did it right. He called out the traffic stop, the location, the color of the vehicle, and the license plate, which is pretty typical. Then make the traffic stop itself and talk to the driver, then come back and talk to the dispatchers about what you actually need from that traffic stop. So
there's no record of speeding or purpose
no,
failure?
no, he did it right.
And it's very likely that the trooper's video camera recorded any altercation?
I'm not sure if he had a camera in his car or not.
What led up to, I guess, after he was shot, how did the response get out after that?
After he was shot, obviously, I said he gave the license plate, and we're able to do some things, some investigative things to find out who our suspect was, and then ultimately track them down to where we found him.
So he was still conscious and cognizant?
The trooper?
Yeah.
At the scene he was.
Did you say he was, Chris?
Yes.
But he wasn't able to give any more information after the gunshot?
I don't believe he was, no.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Any new details on what happened in Manistee, that shooting?
No. No. Unfortunately not.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. And like I said, unfortunately, it's a pretty fluid investigation at this point in time too. So, unlike no other investigations we deal with, there's not a lot I can say because it is so close in time. We're 14 hours off from the incident, 16. So, we're still working on it. A lot of work to do yet.